Hi, everybody. I'm back. First, I'd like to start by saying we have a special sponsor this week, Living with Harmony. And thank you for sponsoring. Thank you also to Hodo Foods, the sponsor for this week's talks. Prize packs for this month's contest have been graciously donated by Hodo Foods, Crofters Organics, Follow Your Heart, and Orgain. I invite my viewers to enter the monthly contest at virtualvegfest.com and click on the contest tab for details. Entering is super easy just by liking and or subscribing to our social media and Virtual VegFest YouTube channel. You're entered to win one of the prize packs. And of course, thank you to Plant Based Network for sponsoring Virtual VegFest. So tonight, my first question for everybody who's watching is where are you watching from? I'd love to know your location. So just drop that in the comments and let me know where you are. So tonight I wanted to talk about some substitutions. I've gotten a couple of questions about baking and just other food items and even some non-food items. And because we've talked about food so much in my previous shows, I actually want to start with a couple of non-food items where deodorant is a big one. Oh, Edison. I know Edison. It's right distracted by the chat there. And Edison is right next to New Brunswick in New Jersey, where Rutgers University is. So there are a ton of really great vegan options there. And even restaurants that aren't fully vegan have a lot of really good options. But definitely, if you're ever in the Edison, North Brunswick area, check out Veganized. I love that place. Colorado, I was in Colorado probably, I don't know, how old am I now? Maybe 21, 22 years ago. I wasn't vegan yet, so I don't have any ideas about any awesome vegan things in Colorado. But if you do, Brenda, definitely leave that in the chat so that if anybody is visiting Colorado wants to check out some cool stuff, then we'll know. Um, yeah, veganized is so good. All right. So the first thing I want to talk about is deodorant. So this is the deodorant that I use. It's a crystal. I don't love the spray version, but I ordered a huge pack when COVID hit last year, and I'm still working my way through it because it lasts a really, really long time. They also have roll-on options and solid deodorant, but the roll-on is my favorite. The scent here is chamomile and green tea. They have lavender, unscented, baby powder scented as well. Deodorant's a tough one. I think a lot of people I think right after the where do you get your protein question, you'll often get, well, what kind of deodorant do you use? Because so many of the products that are out there that you can find at regular stores have been, tested on animals. So we don't want to use those. But this, not only has it not been tested on animals, it doesn't really contain much. And it's, there's no aluminum. It's safe. I think it even says like people who are undergoing treatment for cancer and stuff, it won't interfere with some things. That's what it says on the label. That's not my claim. Um, but it's really wonderful. It smells really nice, and it really does work. Yes, yeah, the roll-on, Diane. It is the best version for me too. Um, and my husband uses Everyman Jack, which is a vegan line that you can find at Target. So they are actually becoming a bit more mainstream. The products, you can get this. I ordered it on Amazon, like I said, because COVID had just hit. We weren't leaving the house, and I really needed some deodorant because I do still, live with another person, and so I ordered a pack, but you can get these at like CVS or the grocery store. So we're finding more and more options are available in kind of the regular grocery stores. You don't have to go to a health food store anymore to find a vegan deodorant, which is really awesome. There are some other brands you can find, like Native, I think you can get in Target now. I haven't tried uh, that. I have sensitive underarms. And Lush as well makes a couple of vegan deodorants that smell really lovely. Uh, if you are a fan of Lush. Um, and then let's see. I also brought some household stuff with me. They're the same brand. Sorry about shoving my face in the camera there. This is the dish soap. That's the word. This is a dish soap that we use. It's seventh generation, so there's like minimal ingredients in here, but it is vegan, cruelty free. So that's the dish soap. We also use their bathroom cleaner and toilet bowl cleaner. Oh, that's great. That's a great suggestion. Avoid baking soda if you have sensitive skin. Yeah, you'll find that you can end up with a pretty ugly rash, especially under your arms. Even if you're not shaving, it definitely can create this like, yeah, a very itchy rash under your arms. I did have that happen with a couple different deodorants that I'd tried. So I went back to Crystal. You can, going back to this for a second, I've been using this since 2001, this brand. And I started by using the physical stone, and it comes in this adorable little like wicker basket, and you just keep it right out on your countertop. It's so pretty, and it's like this little square stone, and you just wet it each time you're putting deodorant on. Just wet it just enough, and then you can just rub it on your underarms and a couple of other places that get sweaty. And you put it back in the little wicker basket, and it dries, and it's just wonderful, and that actually lasts for a full year. I was super impressed. Oh yeah, pit paste comes like, yeah, you can just scoop it out and just rub it on there. I haven't tried that one, but I know that they're pretty popular. Brenda, that's so exciting. It's so fun when you first make this change and you're starting to discover all the different foods you can eat and the places you can go and things to check out. So welcome to the lifestyle. It's really wonderful. Um, oh, looks like I need to plan a trip to Denver. Voodoo Donuts, that sounds good. Yeah, so Brenda, you definitely can still find I love going to, the natural food stores, and I love shopping at Whole Foods. But, if you find in a pinch that you're stuck going to a standard grocery store, the really nice thing is that you can probably find at least most of what you're looking for. So it's really nice to see that we've gone a bit mainstream, if you will. But yeah, and definitely check out any restaurants when that becomes a thing that we can do again to really sit down and enjoy the ambiance of a nice vegan restaurant. I'm looking forward to that very much. Um, and I've used an app. Everybody will tell you to look at the Happy Cow app when you're looking for um, restaurants that are either, veg friendly, vegetarian, or vegan. And Happy Cow is helpful, but I found another app called Vanilla Bean. And it's free. I don't think Happy Cow app is free. I think it's only free if you're on the website. But the Vanilla Bean app is free, and you just put in the zip code that you're nearby, and it will pull up all of the veg-friendly restaurants that are in the area where you are. All right. I have some other fun things. So, anybody who loves camping very likely loves s'mores. Well, you don't have to not have s'mores when you're vegan because you can buy vegan marshmallows. These are amazing. You can get Dandies pretty much anywhere these days. They have they have these big sizes and plain, like vanilla flavored is what these are. They make mini ones for your hot cocoa. They also have some flavored ones. I think they do. Yeah, I didn't go shopping. I'm just literally showing you guys what's in our pantry. um, but they also make, I think they came out with a pumpkin spice flavor in the fall. I hadn't gotten a chance to try that, but it's on the list. It's definitely on the list. Then for another open bag, I've got some chocolate chips. I actually have two brands of vegan chocolate chips here. I'll just unwrap everything. And they both are, per their labels, allergen friendly. So we've got the Enjoy Life, um, which these are, I've actually found them at in the grocery store now, but it's literally just cane sugar, unsweetened chocolate, and cocoa butter, and it's made in a dedicated nut and gluten-free facility. These are really good. They taste very dark chocolatey, if that's the flavor that you're looking for. And then Nestle, I think they've realized, you know, that vegans are willing to spend a lot of money. Um, they have their own. Okay, that's the right way. They have their own chocolate chips now, and these also have very limited ingredients. Um, it's organic chocolate, cane sugar, and cocoa butter. It has the little vegan logo on the back, certified vegan logo. These are really good. These taste more like milk chocolate, even though they're not, and there isn't even any plant milk in it. But these are really good as well. So those are two really great options. When I make chocolate chip cookies, it'll either be, one of these two. But you know what else you can do if you want to be a little bad, but you're eating healthfully, is if you have strawberries, which are coming into season in a couple months here in New Jersey, you just take a whole pint of strawberries, because why not just eat the whole thing? You take a pint of strawberries and put a little bit of a splash of balsamic vinegar on them, throw some chocolate chips and maybe some walnuts, and just have that in a bowl and just eat that with a spoon. So you're welcome. Um, then let's see, while we're talking about baking, we've got a couple options baking wise to make cookies to replace eggs. That's a big one, right? I typically use applesauce, so I will just, for one egg, I use a quarter cup of applesauce, and um, that works out where the cookies aren't too cake-like. If you go more than that, if you use too much applesauce, the cookies will be a lot more like cake. So if that's what you're into, that works, but I just use a quarter cup per egg, and usually it's half cup because most recipes are looking for 2 eggs. Um, and another trick that I have for baking, especially cookies, is to underbake them just a smidge. So if the cookies would be totally baked at 10 minutes, take them out at like 8.5 and just let them finish cooking when they're on the pan that you've taken out of the oven. Because then that keeps them soft and chewy. And there's no animal products in it, so we don't have to worry about things like, eggs not being cooked enough before we eat something, which, by the way, that also means that you can spoon out that cookie dough. So it's 1 spoon on the cookie sheet, 1 spoon in your mouth, 1 spoon on the cookie sheet. You get it. Um, Here's a substitute for eggs, which, again, I like to stress when I can find stuff in a regular grocery store, because it's really important to me for everyone to realize just how easy it is to be vegan these days. Because you really can find anything in standard grocery stores. Here in New Jersey, where I live, we have a ShopRite and a Weiss grocery store, and those are kind of very standard grocery stores. So the fact that we can find this kind of stuff there, and they keep adding more and more stuff, this is in response to, to the flax meal. I was getting there next. It was right here. um, it's just really amazing that we can find all these cool things, and that they're adding more and more every time we're in the store. So this is the neat egg. I actually, this one is not opened. I haven't tried this yet, but I have a plan to make some cookies soon, and I'll give this a go. The ingredients in here are just chia seeds and garbanzo beans. So that gives you that texture to hold everything together. And then, as mentioned, here's some flaxseed meal. You mix it with a little bit of water. I think it's like 1 tablespoon. It tells you. Keep this in the fridge, by the way. It's always best to keep, especially, I keep all of my nuts and seeds in the fridge, but definitely your flaxseed, and especially when it has already been ground, because of the oils. You don't want it to go rancid before you get a chance to finish the whole bag. But yes, it is 1 tablespoon of flaxseed meal and 3 tablespoons of water for each egg. So you want to double that if you're using a recipe that calls for 2 eggs. but it does, it gives it a nice chewy texture, and it's really yummy. And it doesn't taste, your cookies aren't going to taste like you have flaxseed in them, which is also really nice, especially if you're like me and part of the fun in baking the cookies is when people go, "This is vegan? No, this can't be vegan." And then you're really proud of yourself because everybody thinks your cookies are amazing. Anybody have any other questions so far? I'm just kind of running through all my favorite things in our pantry. So, welcome to my home. All right, we've got another substitute option. Same company as the neat egg is the neat meat. So this was in place of like taco meat, like it shows here on the cover. But this has some pecans, garbanzo beans. This is gluten free. There's gluten free whole grain cornmeal. The neat egg is actually in here, and then there's just some seasonings with onion, garlic, ancho chili powder. You can make it into burgers, it says, but it was pretty tasty. I honestly love when I'm making things like tacos, or even if I want like a bolognese type sauce, if I'm making pasta. I really like tofu. It's like my favorite thing in the world. So I would just use tofu in place of this, but my husband liked it. He also uses the chorizo. There's like a chorizo, has like a little drawing of a guy on the cover, and I'm sorry, I can't remember the name of it. But also at a regular grocery store, right in the produce section, there's like it's a spot where you can usually find things like tofu. Our grocery store has now added um, all the vegan cheeses. Oh, great, Trader Joe's too. Um, they've added all the vegan cheeses and things like the chorizo and all the deli slices. I should have pulled those out of the fridge, but you can get like tofurkey turkey and pastrami, and you make some nice sandwiches. So those are good um, substitutes for like your standard lunch meal. Um, but I like to put, anyway, going off track here. I like to put the tofu, like crumbled tofu, in with kind of the same seasonings and in a pan, and just kind of do that up and then put that into my tacos, which we then always top with um, guacamole, lettuce, salsa, and hummus. Always hummus. I almost lost my mind the night that my husband said, "You know, I'm gonna put some hummus on my tacos." He's not a big guacamole guy, and he was looking, for a little more sauciness with some taco sauce too. But yeah, he just took a big scoop of hummus, and it changed tacos for us forever. It was a pretty big night here. Um, yeah, Wegmans, which is a grocery store that I think started in Rochester, New York, and they're making their way down the East Coast for sure. They've started their own line of vegan cheese, and from what I understand, it is pretty tasty. I don't have a Wegmans very nearby, but should I drive past one, I think we'll be stopping to check out the selection and pick up some things that maybe we don't typically find at the stores here. And then I also have some mac and cheese, some boxed mac and cheese options. Um, the Annie's is a lot like Kraft. Almost forgot. Kraft macaroni and cheese in the box. It's the same. The noodles are even the same, and the cheese is, excuse me, a dried cheese. So you do the same. You got to mix it with the milk, and you can add a little bit of butter. And another tip from my husband, who is not a cook, but he always has these really fun ideas. He throws some vegan mayo in after everything's all mixed together, and that makes this one super creamy and really tasty. So not necessarily the healthiest meal. Maybe throw some spinach in that bowl, but it's really good. And then the Daya, this one is a lot like Velveeta. Um, Less so the flavor because this is the Alfredo style. But what I mean is that it's got that pouch of cheese. So I grew up with the Kraft mac and cheese. I don't know. I don't have a memory of Velveeta cheese, but I know a lot of people do, and so this will hit the spot for you there. They do have a regular like cheddar version too, but the Alfredo one is really good. Okay, so those are all the props I brought out, but I actually did have a couple of questions that came to me before the call, so that was really cool. So thank you, Connie, for sharing some of your questions with me. Um, so a good vegan cheese spread, because you're looking for like cheddar cheese, Mayoko's Roadhouse cheddar. If you go to my Instagram, did you bring the hummus? There's a picture of it because I just tried it for the first time the other night and it was amazing. So if you like spreadable cheddar cheese, Mayoko's Roadhouse cheddar is phenomenal. I actually saw a video of Tabitha Brown using it a couple weeks ago. She was just throwing together whatever was left in her fridge. And she then was like, we're going to add some of this. So I'm definitely going to give that a try as well. But so far, I've just kind of put it on some crackers, and that was amazing. It was really so good. I like couldn't believe the how much it reminded me. And it's been a long time, but I just couldn't remember how much it reminded me. Couldn't believe how much it reminded me of that like really fancy, like spreadable cheese on like a really nice cracker. Oh, thanks, Diane. Modern Table, an excellent vegan mac and cheese. I don't know that brand, but I'm definitely going to check that out. Thank you. Okay. Oh, I also, if I could just take a second to point out my shirt, which if you can't read the whole thing, it says Vegan Wild Child. And this shirt is it's hemp, it's organic, it's this one of the softest t-shirts I have ever owned. But it's made by Redefine Your Mind, and I just found out that Doomy, who's one half of Redefine Your Mind, has actually been recovering from COVID. So if we can just take a second and send him some love and wish him a full and speedy recovery so that he's like right back to to designing and being a part of this wonderful company that is Redefine Your Mind. So um, you know, just send him a little love, let him know that we're thinking about him, and hope that he'll be up and at it sooner than later. Awesome, thank you. Oh, great, Diane. Whole Foods carries it. Okay, so Whole Foods carries Modern Table. Their mac and cheese that Diane said is excellent. That is amazing. Thank you so much. All right. Well, we've exceeded our 20 minutes together this evening. So thank you for all of your input. And I really enjoyed the back and forth tonight. It was really fun. Thanks for sharing all of your suggestions. And Brenda, again, welcome to the club. 2 months plant-based. That's wonderful. Good for you. I hope that we see you again on next Monday. Does anybody have any final questions before we go? Just give you a second. All right. Well, thank you again. And as always, I'm so honored to be here, share these few minutes with you every Monday night. I look forward to seeing you again next week. Thanks. Bye.